question, Mark.
Hey, Marcus. That last play, you passed up the shot. Can you just talk about how you saw that play develop? You guys didn't take a timeout. You just got it right up there.
Yeah, I mean, first off, you got to credit Ime for trusting us in that situation with one timeout to just go. Then you got to give credit to JB, pushing the pace, drawing forward, and then making the right read. And then, of course, me, I've always been told that, you have more time than you realize you have. So when I caught the ball, if I was open, I was going to shoot it. And then I seen two guys fly at me. So I'm like, take a pump fake. And actually, I was about to throw it to Al off the dribble. And then I saw JT cut at the last minute. And just wanted to, get the easiest shot we can. And that was as close as we can get to the basket. So I found JT, and he made a great play to get the ball up on the glass and finish it before the game was over.
I have a few, Jeff. What were the emotions after winning the game that way, after sustaining a few punches from the Nets, especially in that fourth quarter?
It was fulfilling for us, especially because of the way we started this year off. Those type of games we'd have lost. We'd have probably, crumbled. And for a moment there, it kind of looked like that was the direction it was going. But, the resilience that we have, the approach that we have, and the work that we put in to make sure that doesn't happen. And just learning. Unfortunately, we had a lot of games to learn from with those type of incidents. So we just wanted to make sure that that's not how we went out. And everybody did their jobs, and we did it to the best we could do it, and everybody helped one another, and we came out with victory.
You guys had a couple of huge stops there at the end. How were you able to get those?
Just trusting one another. Trusting me to play one-on-one with Kyrie, trusting JT and Jalen to play one-on-one with KD and those guys. And then when we get beat, knowing and trusting and allowing ourselves to be there for one another. And that's how we got those stops. And that's what it's going to take. We're not going to be perfect all the time, especially when you're playing against two of the greatest scorers to ever do this. They're going to make shots. They're going to beat you off the dribble. They're going to beat you in certain situations. And you got to have trust that your guys are going to be there to help you.
Last one for me. You stood up KD on the baseline, stole the inbounds, but how were you guys able to contain him so much? He seemed, out of sorts for most of the game.
Just make everything that he has to work for it, and as hard as it can be. The dude's 7 foot with a shot like that. It's hard to really stop him. Like I said, you just have to make it as hard and tough as the whole game as you can, and just give him different looks, and that's what we did tonight.
You touched on it a little bit earlier, but Ime not calling timeout in that last play, does that, he's done that a lot throughout the year, kind of showing faith in you guys. How much does that, help empower you in a situation like that to, that he has that kind of faith in you guys?
It's big. It's a big confidence builder, for us. The coach trusted us to go out there and make a play, and be basketball players. And even in the play where we were running the play for JT and KD top locks JT and sends him baseline, and JB drives it on Bruce and lays it up for us in that situation. That just shows the trust that he has in us to be able to make plays on the fly, to call audibles that we see out there and do that. So appreciate Ime.
Well, you've been here with Jalen and Jason for a long time. You guys have, not just earlier season, but past postseason, last in the bubble, have had some tough spots in those crunch time moments. How much is just the continuity and just being able to know each other's spots, like seeing Tatum drive on that, finding him there? How much did that experience kind of pay off in that instance, do you feel like?
Big time. That's what it's all about, having chemistry with guys, and that's how you get to trust one another. That chemistry, encourages that trust. So I've always told the guys, when I have the ball, just cut. If you make a cut, and when you think I don't see you, that's when I see you the most. And just believe that, I'm going to make the right play. And they do that, and they've done that, and we've all done that. And that play right there shows it. I could have shot it. I turned down a shot to get a great one and found, JT cutting. And JT could have just stood outside and on the wing, but he made a decision to cut. And we linked up, and he found the ball, and things worked out the way they were supposed to be.
Marcus, when Kyrie got open for that three, and he made call a timeout, you guys were kind of discussing who should have had him. What happened from then on? Because it seemed like you flipped a switch defensively, made it harder on him, and what happened? Because as you said before, that might have been a game you let go because it seemed like they were taking control.
We just made an emphasis to, to tighten things up, and that was, not letting Kyrie be too comfortable. He made some couple shots and he got going and it was comfortable, and we all know how he can get when he gets in that mode. So for us, it was after that timeout, after he got that shot, I was pretty on myself, and the guys was telling me just relax, like step back on you with you there. It's a great shot, and I was just devastated because I can't allow that to happen. So for me, it was the next play I can't allow that to happen again, and the teammates fed off of that. Everybody turned it up a notch, and we came out and got a stop when we needed it.
Do you think the fact that you hit 3 or 4 3-pointers put their emphasis on stopping you from shooting? Because both those guys, I think Claxton and Brown, both went all out at you, and you slid obviously between them like a wide receiver or something, and then found the cutting Jason.
I mean, yeah, it definitely helps. I mean, that's what I got to be able to do. I got to be able to knock those shots down. It's something I've been working on my whole career, and it's something that this team has trusted me to be able to do. It took a lot of trust for JB to make that pass to me. It took a lot of trust for JT to make the pass, and knowing that, okay, if he shoots this, it's going to be good, and I can make this pass to him again. It takes a lot of trust to make those passes to guys. So it just shows the trust that we do have, and we got to be able to make those shots for Jason and Jalen. And that's just only going to open things up for us. And I think because I did hit a couple early is why they sold out the way they did.
I think playing off the same play there where Kyrie gets that open three-pointer and you and Jason are going back and forth at each other. There was a miscommunication there. I saw Ime, and there was a lot of animation in that timeout. Then it's you finding Jason at the end. So you go through that defensive thing where you guys are able to talk it out. What does it say about the team that you're able to go through that, go through the timeout, work through things, and then at the end, you're playing off of each other and finding each other for the game winner?
One, it shows our growth. To be able to observe a situation where you failed an instance, to come back out, not let it affect you, and come out with the win and execute on the other end. It's just show growth, and of course, it just goes back to that trust that I've been saying. I trust JT enough to be able to look him in his eye and have those type of conversations, and he trusts me enough to have those conversations where we're going back at each other, because we know, we're trying to be perfect. We know we're not going to be perfect, but that's what we're striving for. So to be able to move on to the next play is a growth that we have this year and that we've been working on, and that shows.